We're out here in Turkey Run State Park in pursuit of the oldest geocache in Indiana, and the conditions are miserable. It is pouring down on us. And if this was like literally any other cache, we wouldn't be here right now. But we won't skip an oldest, so the rain is what it is. But on the plus side, man, look at that engorged river. It is flowing something fierce under all this rainfall. Guess it really doesn't matter if the rain stops now. We're soaked to the bone either way. Right, wet doggy? Yep. It's wet out here.
Aichan's not a big fan of being wet, or in the rain, or walking in the mud, so none of this was exactly up her alley. She was thrilled when we made our first stop at the honeycomb weathering earth cache. We were able to shelter under an overhang while I answered the questions, so we had a brief moment of respite. Then it was right back into the pouring rain again, following the course of the river. We had to proceed much more slowly than we normally would because it was wet and slick all along the trail. About halfway to the oldest, we stopped and made a short detour to check out yet another earth cache. This one had us investigating the cross-bedding in Gypsy Gulch. The Mansfield sandstone here dates back to around 300 to 600 million years ago. But it was really hard to stay focused on the task at hand when we had this waterfall coming down over our heads. It's a very rare opportunity to get to be on the backside of a waterfall. It probably would have been a good thing to avoid the detours on our way out to the Turkey Run stash. But we just could not resist the allure of the other two earth caches and the virtual waiting for us on the other side of this river. Walking out on this old suspension bridge alone was worth it. It had me thinking of the Indiana Jones movie the entire time. Just this once though, I refrained myself from bouncing, mostly because I didn't want to risk going for a swim. Not that it looked all that bad since the rain had finally let up, but don't let it fool you, there's a dangerous undertow right below your feet. As soon as you reach the other side of the bridge, you reach an area known as the Rocky Hollow. Immediately, it feels like you're descending into an entirely different world as the temperature drops around you. The unique geological formation of this area ensures that it's always a few degrees cooler than the rest of the park around it. But man, we had no idea what was in store for us just around the corner. We needed to reach an area known as the Punch Bowl, and the trail that you need to follow to get out there is formed by the natural flow of water during rainstorms. That meant the closer that we got to our destination, the more saturated the trail conditions became. There were actually quite a few hikers out here trying to get to the same place. They had brought paper maps along with them, but those maps were completely destroyed in the rainstorms. We were smart enough to take a picture on our phone before we went out, realizing that that paper map would not do so well. So Aichan and I showed them the way, making sure that everybody knew just where the trail was, even if they didn't want to believe it. Yep, that's our trail. That's the one. Aichan was looking at this trail and then back to me like, "Are you serious, Mag? Are we really gonna do this right now?" "Oh yeah, Aichan, you better believe it. We're hiking this thing all the way up. Let's do it." We were rewarded for our perseverance when we did finally reach the Punch Bowl. Man, what a place. And the dog was tickled pink when I told her that was it. Time to head back down. The way back down the trail was so much easier than the way we had taken up. It's all downhill from here. I was ready to support Aichan as she needed it, but it turned out she really didn't. She could handle these crossings all on her own. Under normal conditions, she won't even so much as get her feet wet when we come near a river. But since she was already thoroughly soaked through today, she had no problem following along with me. Then we were finally back on track to our goal, heading out to the oldest, the Turkey Run stash. After everything else we've been through on the trail, this was a piece of cake.
Another state's oldest down. Hello, Turkey Run stash. Yeah.